Hello and welcome to Jane Tanner Designs Crochet YouTube channel. Today we will be working on our very first project together. We will be making scarves. The supplies you're going to need your scissors, your size H hook, and if you desire, you're going to need something to measure your finishing length with. And then my favorite yarn is the Red Heart Super Saver yarn. It's acrylic. I like it. It works for me, but find what works for you. This is a super basic scarf pattern. You can use whatever yarn on your yarn. It'll tell you what hook size to use, so you can go ahead and use that hook as well. Let's get started. Let's do a slip stitch. We'll grab the yarn and twist it. The top incoming thread will be over the bottom thread, and you'll make a little loop just like so. Insert your hook, yarn over the hook, and pull through the loop, and then you'll kind of let it fall out of your thumb and finger here to make your slip knot. All right, let's go ahead and start crocheting some chains. I'm going to count how many I do, and you're welcome to follow along with that if you would like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I'm gonna do 20 because this seems like a good width for me. This is gonna be the width of my scarf. So we have 20 here, and we are going to do double crochets in our scarf today. That's the stitch we're going to use. To do double crochets, you're going to want to stitch 2 more chains. 1, 2. It kind of counts as a chain on the end. Those 2 stitches here. So now I have 22 stitches in this beginning chain. Now I'm going to start with my double crochets back across. I'm going to start in the 3rd chain from the hook. 1, 2, 3. I yarned over. I'm going to insert my hook, catch the yarn and pull through. 3 loops on my hook. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops. 2 loops on my hook. Yarn over and pull through the next 2 loops. All right. I'm going to work double crochets back across the entire beginning chain. I will work 20 of them because that is how many that's the number of chains that I began with. You will notice that I speed up the video a bit. I do this during the repetitive bits where it's just over and over and over again. I will do the entire project in this video. Just the parts that I'm not talking, I will speed up. But do stay on because I will do some finger stretches and give some other nice tips and background on me and on the project. And the last stitch right there. Love it when it curls up like that. All right, I'm gonna count just to double check that I have 20 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Perfect. 20 stitches right there. Okay, now we're going to move on to our next row. So we're gonna chain 2, and then we're going to turn it. Now in this pattern, we're going to use back loop only in our stitches. So as a reminder, that means when we go to work in this stitch right here, we're only going to go into this back half right here. And I'm going to do that all the way across again. Just 20 double crochets, back loop only across the back. All right, now that I'm nearing the end of the row, I'm gonna go back and count and see how many I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I have 20, so I'm good to move on to the next stitch. You'll want to make sure that you do the same amount of stitches in each row, otherwise it's gonna get a little wompy on the sides. So you'll want to count and make sure you have the right amount of stitches. Chain 2, turn, back loop only. Double crochets back across. I'm at the end of the row. I'm going to count again just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right. And you're just going to do this over and over and over again until you have the desired length of scarf that you want. This is a really easy pattern to begin with. It allows a lot of practice, and you can do this with different stitches as well. You can do this, we're doing it right now with the double crochet. We can also do it with half double crochet or single crochet or even triple crochet and half triple crochet. Just whatever stitch you want to practice, this is a good way to practice it. And if you want it to actually become something, to get something out of your practice, besides just practice, you can make it into a scarf. let's take a moment to look at how far we've come. All right, so here you can see there's kind of like a zigzag back and forth going on. That happens from the back loop only. And you can kind of see here are these ridges. It happens on both sides. And that also is from the back loop only. When you do the entire stitch, instead of just working in back loop only and you do the entire stitch, these ridges are not there. It's more flat, it's more smooth, it's not as zigzaggy here on the side. Here's a little fun fact about me, about this scarf pattern. I learned to crochet from my grandma when I was probably, I don't know, 11 or 12, I would say. And she gave me a hook, had some yarn, some bright pink yarn, brighter than these nails, if you can believe it. And she showed me how to do this exact pattern. She said, go ahead and do some chains, and then she showed me how to work in the back loop only, and she showed me how to do double crochets. And I made this pink scarf, this really bright pink scarf, and I wore that scarf for years and years to come. And that was my very first crochet project that my grandma taught me. Another nice thing about these, the back loop only stitch, is it makes it pretty stretchy. So you can always stretch it to be a little bit bigger than what it is, which is kind of nice when you're working on a big, long project, right? We have pretty decent sized thing going on right here. I'm just gonna fold it up and let's do some finger stretches. When I'm working on big projects like this and I'm just going, I need to stretch my hands a little bit. So let's do some together, okay? We're gonna clench our fists, open them up nice and wide, clench them again, open them up. And this may seem like super, super cheesy, but I totally do this. Do little finger dances. Let's get these fingers moving so that they're not so stiff. And let's keep going. once you're on your last row or nearing the end, you can test the scarf around you, make sure it's the length you want. You just keep going until you reach your desired length. And here in a minute, I'm going to show you how to tie off your project once I finish this row. Alright, now that I have finished my last row, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to snip the thread, and then I'm just going to take my hook and I'm going to pull it all the way through. And I'm going to pull that pretty tight right there, just like that. And then I'm going to start weaving this back through. I try to find smaller holes in there that I can pull it through that'll hold it a little tighter. I look on both ends to see in which way the yarn goes so that I can kind of get it to blend in with the stitch, the way of the stitches. So you can't really see it. You can see there. You can't see where I've been going with the yarn. Do that a few times, and then I'm going to trim it, and I'm going to give it a little bit of a stretch there just to help it make it look a little bit more normal, just like that. And kind of tuck it in there. I'm going to go back to the beginning, and I'm going to do the same here. Now this is already tied in a nice knot here, so we just have to weave it in. I'm going to start on this side because it'll help it look a little bit cleaner. Just going to weave it through. Oops. You want to make sure you catch the entire yarn and not just a single thread. Alright, and once again I'm gonna clip it and give it a little bit of a stretch there. And that is how you crochet a scarf. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you keep practicing, and we will see you next time. Learning to crochet? Make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss a tip.